Good morning, students. Welcome back to this software engineering class. We are going to discuss about few more supporting processes like software configuration management process, then change management process, then process management process. These are the processes we are going to discuss. Okay, what I told you about this process, I say we are using this term process very often. What is the method, systematic method of developing a activity, developing a product. That is what process is. Okay. Now coming to the software configuration management process, it is also a utility process supporting the main development process. Okay. Now during the development of your software, many changes might come. Okay, these things are inevitable. Okay, so changes continuously take place during the development. Okay, okay, this changes might be due to evaluation of the work product. Okay, then when the product proceeds further, the evaluation changes. Okay, then that is one of the reason why some changes are occurring. Okay, then another thing is changes might be due to defects that are found. Okay, in the work product. Okay, some defects were found, so something has to be changed. Then and the last one is the customer comes up with more requirements. Okay, so in the initial discussion, the customer didn't come out with all the requirements. Then halfway through the development, the customer comes up with more requirements. Then everything has to be changed. So the changes are occurring due to several reasons. Now the first two chances, that is changes due to evaluation or changes due to defects, they are all easily carried out. The management is somewhat easy. Whereas when the change in requirement comes, then it is quite tedious to incorporate changes. It is quite difficult to handle those changes. Okay, so the configuration management or a software configuration management process is the discipline of systematically controlling the changes that takes place during the development. So how to handle the changes in a systematic way, that is this process is. Okay, now during this configuration management, so this process may carry out these activities. Okay, this configuration management process may have to deliver the latest version of a program. Okay, what is the update status, what is the update level of that program, that has to be given by the configuration management. Okay, for example, yes, a program has to be modified. The modification has to be carried out in the latest copy of the program. Okay, the latest version of that program. Okay, so whatever the modifications are there, that should be reflected in the very latest program. Then the next functionality of this configuration management process is undoing a change or go back to the specified version. Okay, there are some situations wherein you have to go back to the previous version. Okay, previous version might have been more efficient than the current version after carrying out certain changes. Okay, in that cases you may have to go back to the previous version. Okay, so this configuration management process should support such a revert back to the previous version. Okay, and also another functionality of this configuration management is that it should prevent unauthorized changes or deletion to the current product. Okay, there should be a security mechanism involved. Only the legal person are allowed to make any changes. Okay, that is the thing. Then it should also gather all the sources and documents and other information needed for the current version of that program. So these are all some of the functionalities, some of the expectations from the software configuration management process. Okay. Then the next process is requirement change management process. Okay. In the previous one, configuration management, there also we uh, deal with the change in the requirements. Okay, there, what are the total effects that has to be handled in the entire software? That is the duty of the configuration management process. But in the requirement management process, how are you going to handle the change in requirements? That is the work of this requirement change management process. Okay. So this requirement change management process, it defines the set of activities that are performed. Okay, when there are some new requirements are coming up. So when some new requirements are coming up, what are the activities that should be performed? Some of the activities are log the changes. That is, note down all the changes that are being brought in. Okay, then you do the impact analysis on the work product. Okay, what are the changes? What is the impact of the particular change in the SRS document? What is the impact of that particular change in the design document, or in the coding, or in the final product? Okay, so you perform your analysis on the changes that are carried out in the product. Okay, then how much it affect the effort, how much it affect the delivery time. Okay, that has to be analyzed, estimated. Okay, then what is the impact of the change that should be informed, that should be informed well to the stakeholders, that is users. Okay, then the stakeholders are not only users, sometimes the developers. Okay, so the development team should be informed of the changes that are going to be affected in the particular phase. Okay, then they should be prepared to carry out those changes. So the impact of the change should be informed to the uh, person who are going to use that software. Okay, who are involved in that software development are going to use that software. Okay, then how much of rework has to be carried out? That has to be estimated, that has to be evaluated. So these are the various activities that are carried out in the requirement change management process. Then the last process is process management process. What I told you about process, the method of developing a software. Okay, if the method itself is needing some changes, okay, it's not that the method of developing a particular software is a static one. So changes are happening. Some newer technologies are coming up, newer ideas are coming up, the way the software is being developed. So when the very process of developing a software is changing, undergoing changing, then how to manage that changes, the way the product is developed. That is this process management process. So in the process management, we focus on the improving the process. Okay, how to improve the current process so that the better quality can be achieved, the cost can be reduced, or delivery time can be reduced, all the objectives can be realized. Okay, how to improve that software. That is this process management software. Okay, so to improve this process, every organization need to first understand the status of the current process. What is the particular situation, what is the current status of the process that is being carried out. Okay, then only they can improve that process. Without having a complete understanding, without having a complete knowledge of what is the process that is being used to develop a software, we cannot improve that. So they should have a complete information, okay, about the current process that is being used. So if at all changes has to be incorporated in the process that is being used, it is not radical changes that should be incorporated, that should be introduced. The changes should be very, very minimal. In a very incremental way, the changes should be adapted in the process. Okay, because we are trying to improve, we are changing the very way a particular software is being developed means, yeah, radical changes cannot be employed, cannot be used in the process management process. The changes has to be introduced on a very incremental level till the changes are incorporated to our satisfaction. So that is what about this process management process. So we have covered all the supporting processes needed for the main development process. Okay, with this we are finishing the first unit. Okay, boys. Hope you have understood. Okay, you can go through these lectures again and again. There are plenty of books available. Our prescribed book for this syllabus is an integrated approach to the software engineering by Narasha publication. The author is Pankaj Jalote. It's a very beautiful book, well informative and a very interactive book. And you can go through this book to get a better idea. Okay. So we will, in the next class, we will start the second unit, namely requirement specification, the unit, okay, and the designing. These two will comes under the second unit. Okay, we will see in the next class.